Testing, testing. Yes, I see the light. I see the green light. Hopefully, I got audio. Yeah, this is True Power's Mine. This is tpim. It's our live. The audacity to dream, Yow. I'm not going to allow whatever this computer's doing to stop the show, stop the flow. I want to say hi to all the brothers and sisters that joined at the last bit. But we're going to get this thing going right now. I don't know how much time I have. I feel like I'm a man on borrowed time. I don't know how much time I have, but we're going to do something. We're going to do something before we end this. All right. First off, for those who brought along your Googles, please turn to your Google with me on your search. I would use Torn or some other anonymous browser, but really I can't at this point. This machine's the base. Google already got me, brother bird. But this is what I want you guys to search for. German companies that relocated to United States after World War II. How thousands of Nazis were rewarded with life in the good old U. See, it's funny how when we talk about immigrants, it seems some immigrants are always treated better than others. And speaking of which, brother Al, welcome to the show. Hopefully the sound's coming in clear. We got a live studio audience for sure tonight. But after World War II, thousands of Nazis became informants. You know, the so-called CIA spooks. They also, hold on, and this is coming from NPR, all right? I want to quote my sources. I'm having some technical difficulties, guys. Please bear with me. I'm doing everything on the backside here. Okay. Now, this is okay, in the early 70s, New York rep Elizabeth Holtzman received a confidential tip that American immigration authorities knew of dozens of former Nazis, some implicated in serious war crimes, who were living in the United States. Holtzman's looked into it and discovered that it was true. It's called Operation Paperclip. It's called Operation Tie-Dye. I mean, there's so many other instances where quote unquote scientific knowledge and value was being siphoned off for our so-called war effort. But really, when you look at our war effort, seeing how it's a capitalistic situation, it's kind of funny because that means that all these Nazis, which were basically, you know, real Nazis, are anti-capitalistic, they're anti-Jewish, and then they're racially anti-everybody else on the planet. All right. What's up, Timothy? Welcome to the show. I had to restart my whole computer, brother. Now, these Nazis were forced to basically be peons or laboratory producers for capitalists, where they were working in DARPA projects or other big name well, DARPA is almost a part of the government, but there's a lot of contractors out there that develop weaponry for the United States that use some of their knowledge and resources. But let's continue on with this little article. But that was just the tip of the iceberg. According to the investigation report, or investigative reporter Eric Lynch Blah, in his book The Nazis Next Door, Lynch Blah reports that thousands of Nazis managed to settle in the United States after World War II, often with the direct assistance of American intelligence officials, who saw them as potential spies and informants in a cold war against the Soviet Union. Which, that in itself, you know, those who've been with the show know that John Lear broke it down for us. The Soviet Union was never our true enemy. So this whole notion that we needed these Nazis to come, and besides, what exactly would they know about the Soviets that we didn't already know? We were giving the Soviets tanks and weaponry. So we got to understand the true consequences of World War II. Let's look. Let's see what Google has to say about that. Who really won World War II? Russian react nervously to any narrative about the World War II, and it's differs from its own. When the United States, Britain, and France paid tribute. Okay, so this is what I found out through my unorthodox sources. Basically, what happened was after World War II, when you really look at it, all the poison, all the torture, all the sexual depravity came right to the United States in position of power and in position of academia. They became your professors. They became your administrators. They became your governors. And that's what happened. That's why we're in a whole lot of mess, y'all. The system, if you look at it, I mean, how many? We've been at war with Al Qaeda for what, 20 something years almost? How many Al Qaeda agents or whatever did we take and bring in? How many? How many Viet Cong did we, keep around because we thought that they might help us with China or North Korea one day? For that fact, how many Koreans did we, keep and pull in? And the whole point of the war was to show that, in some respects, our manufacturing capability and our technology was superior to that of the Europeans at the time. I'm talking about the Americans' war effort. And it proved effective enough to become not only capable on land, but devastating on sea. We have a rich history of naval conquest, folks. I'm sorry, that's the youngest. Obviously, there's some tension in the background, but you know what? That actually adds character to what I'm talking about. Those babies back there are all like their own different countries. You got bigger countries, littler countries, medium-sized countries, and they interact. And the next thing you know, they're best buddies again. Just like, so what? We might go to nuclear war with China. But in a few decades after that, they may be our best ally. Just like Japan. We had to go to nuclear war with Japan. Oops, I said it. I didn't mean to say that, yeah. But yeah, we went to nuclear war with Japan, and we saw who won that war. But see, that's why I kind of have this ashy kind of obliterating screensaver. For one, I want this to be monetized because I'm not talking any of my normal topics. I think this is going to be very informative, but without any derogatory. I got a letter, man. Seriously, talking about my show's good, but and the but always kills me. I'm derogatory to certain aspects of society. I call a spade a spade. Sometimes when the kids aren't around, I say some harsher words about spades, which are shovels, which are used to dig things, which the digging action is the precursor to a foundation being made. And then upon that foundation, something can be built. I have no problems using a spade. I had no problem calling a spade a spade. But apparently YouTube does. Oh, I forgot. I should be on Facebook too. Yeah, you can remove your messages, Timothy. You have that right here. This isn't some sort of, I'm not a font Nazi. They should have thy message redacted only from me. No. You got that right. This is one of the last bastion of freedom, I believe. I try not to censor anybody. Like when there are certain trolls that come onto the channel, all right, that are being belligerent and not adding anything to the conversation. You guys, fortunately, hopefully, never see those comments. I still try to, right before I go to sleep, tend to the channel, just like I tend to the garden, tend to the kids, tend to the rehab project, and tend to the show. I'm a tender. This is the last bastion, brother. Our true free speech, man. And I'm not going to abuse it. I'm not going to use it to incite anybody. I'm not going to bring up historical facts in such a way to make little revolutionary, counter revolutionary, whatever, guerrilla soldiers. Because the war that I want to fight and win is the most valuable one, I think. And that's the war of hatred amongst humans. The war against self-hate. Part of me can't wait for those aliens to come on with it. But another part of me know that if they're the aliens I think they potentially are, we don't want none of that. And this goes out to all you cats out there. You may think you're riding on something, some sort of magical power or whatever. I hope you're riding mighty strong. I hope you're riding mighty strong because the things that are coming this way are strongest. They're very powerful beings. Let's just put it that way. They're going to put you to the test. No other God but the Most High. Put it that way. But a lot of people don't care about all that. And this ain't going to turn into no religious spill because, that's another. If you guys, for all you guys making your own show. And Brother Al, if you got some, I want to check out your show. If you got it on YouTube, talking about radios, I wanted to do a piece on this show about it. But it's going to be difficult because right now, I can't accept phone calls, nor can I really play anything through my speakers on my computer, because if I do, you're going to hear the feedback from the mic because the way the mic's wired up, it's all crazy, y'all. I mean, I used to have this flowing like a nice little studio. I could take phone calls. I could play videos all simultaneously. It was so beautiful. I got hacked. Had to reformat this. And I'm trying to, I guess, tune back in the sound schematics that I had before. But enough of my petty problems. Let's talk about the real deal, y'all. Hold on. I just want to jump over here to the little news feed. Now, I did want to give my condolences to all the people who died yesterday in the mass shooting. I guess the latest domestic terror attack. But they will never tell you that, because of the people shooting. They're, by God, they're not terrorists. They can never be. If they burn down Little Wall Street, that's not terrorism. That's just unfriendly neighbors. Come on, y'all. British youngest terrorist gets lifelong amnesty. Oh, my gosh. I'm going to put the link in the chat room. I think this goes according to YouTube standards. So this is the link to the article, y'all. You can follow me. If you have a chat browser, click that link I just posted. Yes, the garlic. Now, see, 7979. I never saw or heard of this garlic festival. I never heard of such a thing. And why would you really want to, garlic's cool in soups. It's even cool. It's like a medicinal deal, but I don't know. Having a festival, that's a little too much. They're doing a great job on killing people with poverty. Bird. See, this is why I like Bird. He's a contributor, a font contributor, and he contributes the real. Poverty. Number one killer minorities in the United States. It's linked with sexual diseases. It's linked with homicide. It links with incarceration and then disease. It's linked to death. And I ask you, Brother Bird, seriously and honestly, why is there poverty in the world's richest nation when we control 25%? That's 25, y'all, of the world's population or the world's economic. That we own 25% of the global market. Poverty equals stress equals death. That's right on, Bird. Now check this out. Isn't it funny that they can have laws and give companies incentives to bring in A1 visa workers? And I think they have to pay them like 16, 17 bucks an hour. They have to guarantee them health care, guarantee them 32 hours a week. And at 15 or plus an hour. And this was back when people were bitching trying to get regular American jobs, you know. Why is our government doing that? Bird, look what Bird just wrote, y'all. Please look what Bird just wrote. Poverty equals stress equals death. Now listen to what I just said. Your government is making it economically viable for immigrants to come in and do so-called jobs that you don't want to do. Really? You know, it's kind of nice having immigrants that don't speak your language. Think about it. How many immigrants do you think are getting fucked? Oh, shouldn't have said that out loud. How many are? How many you think are getting done like that by the bosses? How many illegals they'll get Jose or Kamal or Scooby Doo or Shaggy, and he's straight up illegal, and they work him for pennies on the dollar because they just need an extra hand that day instead of hiring a man that can provide for his children and his people. But see, it's not about work equals resources, which equals life. It's about poverty, which equals stress, which equals death. Timothy, how is Mark from Anaheim? Have you talked to him lately? You should call him. Well, yeah, I have talked to him lately. I mean, I guess that really depends on your definition of lately. Talk to him on Facebook all the time. I think what Mark is doing, and I'm not speaking for him, you know, he speaks for himself, obviously. But I think he's doing what I was doing yesterday. He's enjoying life, yeah. I'm sorry, but people do have lives. They got people they love. They got people they want to spend time with. That's all I can chalk it up to, man. He has given us so much information. He's given us a lot of information for free. And this ain't no big outfit like Carl Nelson's show. And I give Carl Nelson his due respects. He has a big, powerful show on a big platform. And that's beautiful. I'm trying to build this platform up because we just busted 3,000 subscribers. I mean, I know a lot of people are like, oh, 3,000 is nothing. That's a drop in the bucket. But for me, coming out of the woodwork, Judge is doing good as well. Now, the Judge has a new show, Hot Topic. Check your local listings. I believe it comes on the weekends. It's like a show. But I will have him on soon. I'm going to get these people. Look, the next person you're going to hear on this mic, beside my children, will be Matilda Hayward. Or Haywood, rather. Matilda Haywood. I had a crazy day. I think the sun fried me. But, the thing is, TMP researched the country of Monaco, second smallest country in the world. But yet, Bird, they stay untouched. How many soldiers from Monaco died in World War I? How many soldiers from Monaco died in World War II? In fact, they were just like the areas where the um, German spies and what's that? The German spies and American spies could congregate and get to know each other. They're in Switzerland. Don't panic. Don't panic. What happened? Did that British ship get sunk yet? Have they ever released that yet? The one that just went over there to the oh. Here we go, guys. Hold on. I have to show you guys this one. Now I can do this all day long. This is just a newspaper. Another priest accused of sexual abuse turned to under the radar group. Money, shelter, aid. Should be AIDS, but sure. You see what the deal is? And then we go across the way, right? And they should be talking about Jeffrey Epstein here. Hold on. Literally right across the way. Hopefully that's on frame. Oh, you guys can't see that. Let me put this over so you guys can see it as well. Right there. Epstein life in jeopardy as powerful pals don't want secrets out. This is the difference between powerful people, rich people, and wealthy people. Mr. Epstein was basically on the lower class of the upper rich folks. He's sort of like the ghetto, the ghetto rich kid. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, man, we want to do something great. Well, I'm a blue blood. I have this, heritage. And Epstein just has this island of sorted debauchery. Well, some of them blue blood cats end up going down there to that island because dude is rich still, doing some nasty Aleister Crowley type business. And now this is what happens. Epstein's all in the limelight now. The one person I wish they was in the limelight, and I'm really remiss because I can't remember the chick's name, but I feel her spirit. The chick that blew up trying to tell everybody about the Paradise Papers, about how the Queen of England is a very wealthy old matriarch and leader of her little crew. Don't forget, she is still the Queen of England, and there's a lot of English people that would straight up kill for her. She's like, kill. They will go and kill for her in the name of the Queen. You best believe. Like Mark said, it's about the haves and haves more. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that it? But you know what? Listen, I mean, you can look at Epstein. He's not blonde hair. You can see his Slavic roots, and he's a freak. He's a rich freak. He just happens to be a guy who's into some nasty business with a buttload of so-called money. But a lot of that money is probably not even liquidable, meaning that it's probably in stocks or some sort of other really non-money form, but we can count it as money business. Mafia ties. So he was putting people in the hole too. Great. So he's snuffing, you think about it. If you ever saw a real snuff film, he's probably the guy that made it. He has enough money and enough resources to do it. You see what's happening here? You see how that gets bigger and bigger and more sordid? But now he's in prison, right? But I tell you what, Epstein, he's not going to say nothing. He's not going to talk. You know the reason why he's not going to talk? Because he hasn't already. He hasn't already. I don't condone what dude did, man. I straight up don't. And I know a lot of good men out there don't condone, because that's somebody's daughters he was on that plane with. Somebody's little baby girl. He done took down there and basically defiled. I bet his cell is better than any of our, All right, so stop the crying. It's okay. Are you hurt? Are you injured? Are you bleeding? Oh no! See what you did here. Chain reaction. Now this one, this video audience cried. Here, you guys go, go to PJ's room. Now, like I was saying, Greenland is huge. Greenland's huge. But Greenland is another issue. The issue with Greenland is the issue that I was having today. The sun is getting hotter. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. I can't. If you guys don't understand, if you don't get out, if you guys are little mushrooms, you stay up in the house all the damn time. I don't know. But I'm going to tell you this much right here. It is a freaking oven outside today. If you didn't have on long sleeve shirts or your hands covered and face covered, it was pretty uncomfortable. Every part of my body the light hit was on fire. All right. So, we got to understand that the whole cosmos is in change. We may be getting a little closer to the sun. Damn sure ain't getting farther away. And that's just what it is. And think about it. The Earth is just a big rock ball. Rocks get hot, they crack. They get cold, they kind of settle. Well, the sun gets hotter, in addition with HAARP amping up the so-called stratosphere. But the sun gets hotter. We're shooting energy, basically weapons, bouncing them off the stratosphere. And that's what they say they do. Now, I can only repeat what they say they do. Now, but I can send up, wait, hold up. Brother Al can send up a radio signal, which is somewhat in the same bandwidth as some of the elements of HAARP, but that shit just keeps on going to outer space. But somehow, if you have HAARP, you can bounce it off. Man, come on, you ain't bouncing off nothing but a dome. But I can't say that. You know the reason why? Because flat Earth, just discussing flat Earth, can get your channel banned. It can get your channel banned. So I can't come out and say the Earth is flat, and we're in this dome, and that's how you can bounce. See, they can have it both ways. You can't sit here and say you can bounce energy waves off the stratosphere in one hand, when others hand, radar, infrared, all these other different wavelengths of energy just goes straight through and continues quite unencumberedly straight into outer space, even bypassing the Van Allen hyper radiation belt unfazed. So that's the firmament. Hold on, I want to say this as I want to put a disclaimer. Any comment I may read is not necessarily or possibly what the host believes in and what the show's all about. So that should be legal enough for everything to be covered. So now I can embellish and satire and enrich comments with my brand reporting. So we're going to start with Brother Al. That's the fermentation. Yes, absolutely. And then it gets gelled thick down. You see, they told us, Google this, y'all. NASA finally admits moon is in the Earth's atmosphere. So that means there could potentially be air on Earth. Atmosphere means air, right? The moon is in Earth's atmosphere. And some suggest the sun is as well. And when you think about it, if you're ever on a hill, now this is not the show. Once again, YouTube, throwing this out there. This ain't the show, but this is just adding to the comment. If you ever sit on a hill and you look down there in the valley on a nice stormy day and the sun peeks out behind the clouds, way in the distance, you can see how the ball of light, which is the sun, and the rays come out in all the different directions. Now, I talked to some people I know, And they try to say, well, that's because normally, because of the clouds and the way the lights come in. No, don't forget, the light is bigger than the earth. There's more light coming off the sun than the width of the earth is. In other words, if you believe in the Hellenistic spear and the earth revolving around the sun model, which is quite common, and honestly, if I, say I'm all about that, I won't get censored, yeah. And this video might even get monetized. We live on a globe, yeah, and we spin around the sun. Just what we learned in science class, 100%. Now back to the real deal. The reason why they want to keep these facts from you, what would that do to your psyche? You're not floating on a ball with water sucking to it, a round ball with water sucking to it. You're not doing that. You're really on a disc that was obviously created. Now, the whole thing about the flat earth, which is really a trip when you really look at it from a spiritual point of view, the flat earth model absolutely 100% incorporates God or a deity that designed the disc, a very bare minimum. Okay. The whole Hellenistic model, hell, wow, that's kind of funny. It's hell in the word. Centric model, Hellenistic model, with the sun in the middle, the earth revolving around it, takes God out of the equation, out of life altogether. It was not God that created the sun. It was not God that created the earth. This is the scientists, not me. Once again, the show doesn't condone this. I'm just reporting it. And this is how, and this is why they tell this smack to our children in school. Once you start believing you're on the globe, you're floating around the sun, then all things are possible. You're not accountable to God. You don't need to be moral. You don't need to be correct. Heck, you're just basically a bacteria-filled pus bag walking around that can talk. 7979. The SpaceX is a private company, meaning private funding, meaning no oversight, meaning when they go out to space, it's going to be claim, claim, claim. We'll be sitting here 200 years from now. Who is that? Elon Musk. Elon Musk the sixth. The governor and king of the moon and Mars, because his grandfather planted the Musk flag on it. The judge too, blah, the number, sir. Are you ready? I can't take calls, sir. So I'm not ready. Right now, we're only on a hope and a dream. There's some audacity I got going on. This computer's been hit hard. I tried to do a show just a moment ago and it didn't even happen. Couldn't even hear me. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. But I'm thinking about, and let me run this by you guys as if you all are the planning committee. Do you think I should go through all the old shows and pull out some of Mark's, like Mark from Anaheim's greatest hit, like make a compilation of just bullet points that Mark's making throughout all the videos? Would that be something you guys want to watch? I could do that. I was just thinking about doing that for real. Well, we got to understand Supreme Court. Just think about news, man. Just think about the word news. That's north, east, west, and south. That's your compass, man. Are you guys on the level yet? Are you on the level? You see, this is all that this is a big ass game. They give you the news, but it's on a level. And what's levels used for? To make squares. And you can only have something flat. I'm sorry, but for something to be level, it can't be on the round. It has to be on the flat. You know what I'm saying? It has to be on the flat. So let that be another little piece of the puzzle. Is you're riding on the globe, you don't need no God. But if you're flat on the square, God is there. Make up some new codes. The space program, Bert, I'm actually, that's one of the things I'm actually excited about. I'm serious. please, before we start throwing rocks at me. I want to get off this planet, Yao, and I know you do too. I know you do, Sister Barbara. I know you want to get off this planet. Brother War, I know you want to get off this planet. Brother Al. I mean, I'm not forever. I would love to go and come back. This, look, the Earth is my homeland. I'm claiming the whole planet. The whole planet is my homeland. Now, unfortunately, we have some crazy governments sucking up all the resources and lands and giving it to their corporate masters. That's basically what's happening on Earth. But this is still my homeland, and I love the Earth. But I would really like to see what else is out there. I mean, just think how cool it would be in the universe if we ever reached a point in time to where, if you don't like America, you can get in your spaceship and leave. And we really can get in our spaceships and leave. Have resources. And we can let these people have this old shit box. I mean, the Earth. Let them have it. They can love it. And we can go to fresh pastures, man, in the sky. But we won't go like a bunch of viruses and locusts. I mean, think about it. If we was to leave in the condition we are now, it'll be McDonald's. People dying of diabetes on foreign planets. Trillions and trillions served. We have to change the way we think. We have to change the way we see the world in which we live in. 666 Pack got Kool-Aid. No, I don't got no Kool-Aid. And 666, like Judge broke it down, man. The numeric Aramaic pneumatic system wasn't even invented yet. So they certainly didn't use the word 666 or the thought or concept 666 in the original manuscript that the Bible is comprised from. Let's just say it like that. People of color are the most patriotic. Well, because, Brother Tim, people of color have no place else to go. Those of us who aren't fucking dumb as fuck realize we can join the system, be a part of it, and it will pay off. A lot of black folks I know that went to the military turned out to be somebody. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. A lot of black folks that didn't go to the military, didn't go to school, what I mean by school, I'm talking about college and actually obtain a degree, really had a pretty dismal go at things. A lot of them were suffering underneath the oppression of child support and drug convictions and DWI convictions. Many more suffering under gangsterism and criminality of the mind, lack of moral spirit. But this all goes back to what Brother Bird said. Poverty equals stress equals death. Really that simple. PSD. Poverty, stress, death. And that's where many of us is headed, and that's what I'm trying to avoid. Look, if I can't inform you, I hope I can make you laugh. If I can't get you thinking about the world in a radically different way, I hope I can put a smile on your face for a fraction of a second. And to me, that's a victory, because that means that we put love and light back into the universe, and you're receiving it and you're digging it. And then hopefully that love and light will be amplified by you. You basically become a mirror and you shine it on. That's because if not, dude, I'm telling you, there is no scientific hope for us. There is no economic hope for us. There is no military hope for us. There is no political hope for us. There's only one hope, and it's spiritual. But you got the imams, you got the priests, you got the witch doctors, you got the priestess. None of them's united. None of them's working collectively. If they were, holy shit. Watch out, world. Here we come. If you could get all those facets of individuals to truly sit down and work with each other, it is over, folks. They would be the guardians of our new culture. We will have the opportunity to find who we are, what we're about, where we want to go, and how we're going to get there. But that takes our real spiritual leaders, those who truly commune in the fourth dimension and who are truly blessed and ordained. But as long as they're all in their little tribes, they don't got no time for the rest of us. And that's been our downfall since the beginning. Heard a brother, man, he broke my heart, dude. He literally said, this is verbatim. Black people are so dumb to really expect to get free money from other people's labor. It wasn't you out there picking cotton. It was your forebear. Wow. That's some harsh shit. But, you know, I'm Teflon, yeah. I can hear stuff like that. Doesn't faze me because I understand that they're not taking into account the reason why you're in the state many of us are in is because your forebears weren't much better off because they were totally chinsed out of any opportunity to better themselves. 1% has it all. And they ask not 100% is the clear. You know, here's a thought. And please forgive me, guys, because you know I'm a big UFO guy. You know, I'm really huge into aliens. But this really makes me want to weep, makes me want to cry. We can get a million people to say that we're going to rush a military base to kind of get secrets. Well, we can't get a million people to rush Vanguard's headquarters or BlackRock. We can't get a million people to rush the Federal Reserve Building. How about rush Fort Knox? You see how this is going? You see where I'm going at with this? It shows you the priority. You know, how are they going to stop you rushing up there into Fort Knox to see if there's gold? Same way they're going to stop you at Area 51 with machine gun, tear gas, whatever. What about the Federal Reserve? 1 million people descended on the Federal Reserve building. What would happen? This is a joke. It's controlled opposition. It's controlled revolutionary. Because the bottom line is, even if aliens are there, they already got to deal with the powers and that be. They're probably their ace and hole, just in case we ever did get our collective asses out of the sand and said, hey, we're mad as hell. We're not going to take this fucking exploitation bullshit anymore. Until we do that, you know, we might as well just be on the park bench playing a banjo. Well, that's more of a bass guitar. But, you know, we might as well just be playing musical instruments. At least that would be more productive. We actually be hearing the good, pretty vibrations. Because most of what people are talking about is some craziness. Let's stop talking and move. Right on, Brother War. I mean, realistically, give me 2.5 years to come up with the funding from the first hub. It might only be a block, just a city block. Well, we have to do something. Pat can't spell. I didn't type nothing. How can I not spell, Brother David? I didn't type in nothing. Hold on, let me get this off. I don't want to get copyright. Now, hold on. I'm glancing. The mosquito, a human history of our deadliest predator. I don't think mosquitoes is mankind's worst predator. There's something far worse than mosquito, and it's a tick. Mental tick and hair ticks. Mental ticks are negative people who get into your mind and tear your ass down. Hair ticks are people that latches onto your genitalia hair forever. Those are hair ticks. Not to be accused or confused with heretic. But the thing is, Our bodies, I mean, this should let us know who and what we really are. Our bodies are nothing more than a meal for some bacteria, animal, or insect that can get a hold of us. In that respect, all life on this planet, we are kind of kin to all life on this planet at a certain level. Well, we got to take that with a grain of salt. You can't go marrying a frog. You cannot date a walrus. You cannot marry, a duck, whatever. I mean, it got to be human, right? But, and this is the really messed up part. If we do not have moralities and a baseline, then who sets that bar for that's not acceptable? Who am I in the wilderness to tell a man who's been living out there in the wilderness just like me, if he wants to love on that chicken and that chicken's his woman, that chicken is his everything, he will die for that chicken. He will bleed for that chicken. Who am I to tell him that's not real? Now, of course, at the same time, when a man gets old, he can't be expecting my children to come and wipe his ass. He made his bed. Let that chicken take care of him. You know what I'm saying? What you think about the shooting today? I think it was horrible, War. I think a lot of souls left this earth unprepared. And I think the soul that did it, and correct me if I'm wrong, Brother War, were they able to take the shooter into custody? You know, you got to understand, man. All this mass shooting is to get you to, I'm going to give up my guns. I'm going to become whatever. We got to stop that, folks. Keep your guns. Keep your sense of honor and pride, knowing right from wrong, shame. Because if we don't do these basic things, brothers and sisters, then we cannot progress. We cannot evolve. If we cannot set boundaries for ourselves, set rules and regulations for ourselves on a personal level, I'm not talking about collective. Collective is a totally different thing. I'm just talking about individually now. We can't do this on a day-to-day basis, bruh, sis. We can't do it. We're too weak. We're too uncommitted. Now, I sacrificed a lot of time for these shows I've made over the past 2 years. Really, I have, folks. I have. I've talked to people off air for hours on end. And I do this. So that the people who actually been following me and been digging the context gets that knowledge. A 19-year-old, 2019. So he was old enough to remember the aftermath of 9/11. And now, how many more whack jobs are out there? How many more monarch butterflies will get the code? Next thing you know, a few more shootings. I can't wait for them to tell you about the guys with the syringes going around injecting dirty blood, heroin blood into bottles of ketchup. But all these ridiculous stuff always comes out. It always comes out. See, we are under war. Look, a lot of you guys walk around here with your heads up in the sky. No, not you guys particularly in this chat room. You guys are fucking awesome. But a lot of people out here who's going to hear this on playback, you walk around with your head up in the fucking sky like you're just the shit. Well, I'm telling you, that little guy washing the dishes is licking that fucking spoon and putting it right in your soup, man. Here you go, sir. That little guy that you're looking at all crazy, walking down the hallway, vacuum cleaner, that little coffee mug of yours, he's dipping his balls in there. He's doing a real tea bag. and you can go and drink that shit tomorrow. You folks have been so attacked by each other, by the enemy of us all, truly evil people on an industrial level. Yes, I'm going to stay monetized. I'm going to stay monetized. I'm not going there. I'm not reaching, man. I'm just saying, I've seen that, man. Brother David, I've seen this in my life. This is life history I'm talking about. There ain't no book I read this in or any of that. I'm just trying to warn you out. You better get your act together. You better get your mind right. Because these subordinate workers or lower tier workers, they had their cannon. They're fed up. They might not get Donald Trump, but they can get you. They might not be able to get Kamala Harris, but they can get you. That's all I'm saying. Oh, and don't even get me started on the down there at the gas station. You want to be Mr. Billy Cool, go slide in there, man. Boogers on the hot dogs, bro. Boogers on the hot dog. Only reason why I'm telling you this, guys, is that I'm super big on raising your own food. You're never going to stop. Jamal, welcome back to the show, brother. And Trey, welcome to the show. You're never going to stop this system working in it, enriching it, and dying because of it. I'm ultimately asking each and every one of you all to be free in spite of the system. Not because of the system, but absolutely in spite of it. And we're going to have to play these stupid little games. We're going to have to play the cat and mouse intellectual gymnastics just to get the little real message out. But we will get that message out. I have given up too much. And I will give more. But we will get the real message out. It's good, man. I had to take a little vacation, y'all. But I'm back in the saddle again. And I'll give Mark a call, see what's up with him. And when I bring Mark on, I won't give you no days ahead of time, man. It'll be like, hey, it'll just happen, man. But I won't be able to take calls. I will not be able to take calls for a hot minute until I get me a new computer. I already came to terms with it. Yeah, I gotta get another computer. And once I do that, we're gonna be back in business again. I just want to remind you all, Israel's real. The prophecies will be fulfilled. The third temple will be built, probably in the year 2020. Almost has to be for the whole generational thing. But I don't even know where to start because I know that not everyone is going to be saved, man. I already know everyone. Not everyone's going to be saved. And not everyone wants to be saved. Most people can't remember what's happened 5 minutes ago. You're so right, Brother War. It's all a game. Unfortunately, we live in the United States of amnesia. The heifer. August 11th. Oh, all it takes is that little red beast to be confirmed. Let's build that temple so we can sacrifice this fine animal, the Lord GMO man. This is how whack the so-called, I don't know how to describe them, the small hats, fuck it. The so-called small hats. They don't believe in God, but they'll snatch up land in the name of God. They don't believe that God's going to make a red heifer, so they genetically make a red heifer. So you got GMO cow, unscrupulous people claiming to be the chosen people. And then on top of it, here's the ice on the cake. If you talk smack about them, then your ass is going to get charged of a hate crime. That's why I'm not talking smack or using any type of derogatory. It's like, bow down when you come to your town. Bow down when the small hats come to your town. Because they buying up liquor stores, they buying up check cashing places, they buying up your house too. They would buy and sell you if it was legal. So I just want to leave you guys with that sense of perspective, man. You're the chosen people. You know the reason why you're chosen? Because you're alive, fool. You're a sperm and you're an egg and you're alive. And you've been alive for a minute if you're listening to this show. That's what makes you chosen. Forget all this nonsense. There's only one God. I will say now they can ban me for this. I don't care. There's only one God of the universe. Everything else is not only untrue, it's really unrealistic. Live your life. Be the best you can be. And love him because he loves you. With that being said, this has been TPIM SR Live. I'm True Powers Mind. Today's date, 7/29/2019, the year of our Lord. As always, live your life with integrity without hate, envy, or greed. Brothers and sisters, let's try to be kinder to each other. Power and peace. I'm out of here.